reads. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about 5 classic literature books to start if you have never read any classical literature or you really want to get into classical literature. So a little backstory with me. I find classical literature sometimes to be laborious. We're talking about classical literature like the, 18, 1900s. In my opinion, the reason why I did not like them, was not reading them, I found them, again, laborious, but also it was hard to navigate the language. And then when I would read, like, maybe a synopsis of the chapter or synopsis of the chapter, and I realized, oh, they're just talking about maybe just a relationship or, something, that seems simple, but while me reading it, I'm like, okay, that I didn't get that from, that. So I made it my mission at one point when I was really getting to classic literature because I did want to give it a chance. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find some classical literature as the storyline, the tea and the drama that I like when it comes to like modern, literature, because there's some out there. So I want to give you guys 5 books to start with. If, like I said, if you're trying to get into classic literature, you don't know where to start, you're afraid that it might be a little boring, these are ones that I would start with. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so when everyone talks about like classic literature, again, when it's talking about the 18, 1900s, people always talk about Jane Austen. Now, to be honest, Jane Austen don't do nothing for me, okay? I read Pride and Prejudice. Oh my gosh, no. I've seen adaptations. I just do not like Pride and Prejudice. And that was one thing where I remember when I started reading classic literature, that was the one I started with because everybody was talking about that one. I didn't read any classic literature for years. And then that's when I started doing my own research. And I found that I like the Bronte sisters better than Jane Austen. The Bronte sisters, Charlotte, Anne, and Emily. Charlotte is the one that is well known. She wrote Jane Eyre. Now, I would automatically start with Jane Eyre if you have never read any classic literature. I really wish that I would have started off with this because I think I would have, it just would have boosted me more to reading even more classic literature and not take so long. I mean, I'm talking about years until I picked up, classic literature reading. I thoroughly enjoyed this, you guys. I did not think I would enjoy this so much. And everyone talks about Jane Eyre, and I remember people saying like this is their favorite book and all of that, and I did not understand it until I read it. Y'all, this is a girl, basically like an orphan. Her um her aunt treats her horribly. I mean, just horrible. Just everything that is bad happens to Jane Eyre. And she basically goes on this journey. And oh, girl, again, I'm being around the bush because I don't want to give all the tea away. But it's such a simple story when you read the synopsis. It's like, oh, okay. But when you get into it, oh, so much drama, so much tea. I rooted for Jane Eyre. I was sad for Jane Eyre. I was angry at some points with Jane Eyre. I was angry with the people. When I tell you Jane Eyre gets everybody together, she gets that aunt together and them cousins. Y'all, if you have not read Jane Eyre, please read it. I did a whole series called Black Girl Reads. You see me from the beginning to end reading Jane Eyre. Next is Silas Marner by George Eliot. This is a quick read. It's a short read. I love this so much because of that, but also the story so good. So you have a man, Silas, he keeps to himself. He is a weaver. The only thing he cares about is after he does his job, he comes home and he counts that gold, which is his money. I mean, don't mess with his money, right? One day, his coins are gone and he is livid, okay? Because this is his pride and joy. Now, his backstory, I don't want to give it away, but there was some tea that happened with his backstory. So that's why he is the way he is, where he's kind of like a recluse. He just does what he, does, meaning, he go to work, he come home, count his money, do it all over again. He don't bother nobody, and that's his thing. I don't bother anybody. Why y'all messing with my money? Why y'all stole my money? Y'all know what this means to me. And again, I don't bother nobody, okay? Why did y'all do that? But then one day, a young child shows up at his door. And again, Silas' money gone. And he just like, he beat about that, right? But his thing is, there's a purpose why this little girl just stumbled into my life. I'm going to take care of this girl. And the town is kind of like, you a single man. He kind of like a recluse, like, I don't think this is right. You don't need to be like, what do you know about raising a little girl? And his things, I don't care what y'all say. I'm raising this child, okay? And you see what happens. Ah, such a great story. Also, tea and drama because you want to know who the girl's parents are. And when you find that out, it's a good one. Next is D.H. Lawrence, C. Chatterley's Lover. Y'all, this was real, real, real taboo when it came out. And Lawrence for a while was banned because his writing was very sensual. Okay, now if you read this in this day and time, this ain't nothing. Okay, this is nothing at all. But back in the day, he like names genitalias, and actually in some of these, and actually in some of the passages, he says the names. Okay, of a young girl. Now she hasn't saved herself. She know how the wedding night go be. Okay, she marries a man. Um, and well to do, has money and all that. But he goes to war and he comes back paralyzed and he cannot use his legs. His thing is he's fine with that. He's just like, let's, I have this money, I have this wealth, I have this status. Let's just live this, nice life. We can just, kisses and hugging. But her thing is, I've already experienced the real deal, okay? Like, So some things happen and you see how it goes. Again, this was highly sexualized back in the day. Next is another woman that's reputation is toe up. The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Y'all, come on now. Hester Prynne. Hester Prynne. You cannot forget Hester Prynne, okay? If someone calls you Hester Prynne, that's almost an insult. Not almost, it is an insult. What gets me with this is that bothered me. Hester Prynne never told who her baby daddy was, okay? And it was like you went through all of that. And so you got a woman, she had a little rendezvous, had a little good time, and she got knocked up. That's a no-no. You're not married and you having a baby out of wedlock. So she has to wear literally a scarlet A on all of her outfits, and they know Hester Prynne is not pure, okay? And then you also see in the second half, like the daughter, Pearl, I believe, and because who her mother is, kids don't want to really deal with her. They want to play with her. They want to talk to her because it's just like who your mother is. Nathaniel, he wrote the heck out of this book, okay? And it's not long at all. And then lastly, Little Women, Louise May Alcott. Such a classic, okay? Love, love, love this book. I read this book, I want to say 2 years ago, and I realized who I like even more as an adult. So I would say Joe has always been my favorite because I wish I was like Joe. Okay. How I would love to be Joe. Um, but I remember growing up, I always liked Beth because Beth was so soft and so sweet and loving. And when you read about her, she breaks your heart, right? But then as I got older, I realized Amy's the youngest, but Amy knew what she was talking about and knew what she wanted, when she wanted, how she wanted, and got exactly what she wanted. And I was for that. Amy, her thing is, I don't like being poor. I don't want to be poor. My thing is, I want to marry someone with some money. Okay. Look, I said it. Her thing is, I'm just going to say it out loud. Okay. I'm going to marry a person that has some money. And she did. Okay. There's also some drama in T too because, you know, there's a little bit of a conflict with Joe and Amy. Again, Amy's the younger sister. Amy's the younger sister. Just think if you have four sisters, and again, the youngest gets away with a lot of stuff. Again, she's the youngest. You got to be an example for her and all that other stuff. A lot of stuff Amy did, she did need to be beat. Like when she burnt Joe's manuscript, because Joe is an inspired writer. She burnt that whole girl's manuscript because she could not go to the play with Lori, Meg, and Joe. She needed to be beat. Okay. And Marmy, that's their mama. That little talking and all that other stuff. No, mama needed to be beat for that. You know how much this means to this girl. You go burn her whole manuscript. So she got to start all over again. And then what get me is Amy, after they forgive each other. Oh, you forgot the part when da 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 da. How did I forget the part about da 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 da? You burnt the manuscript, okay? I would have been real angry with Amy. That would have been look. I don't even know if I could talk to Amy. Okay, you burnt my manuscript. You burnt my writings, y'all. But again, she got away with a little bit too much. But of course, she is the youngest, and there is some little bit of conflict between them, and especially when they get a little older. It's always like it's your sister, you love her, But yeah, Lori, who is their neighbor, their best friend, I like Lori because Lori, his thing is, I am going to be in the March family, hands down. If you ask me, true love was Joe, and Joe was stupid. Okay, Joe was stupid, and y'all got to read the book because y'all see this is a conversational piece. Okay, now when it comes to movies, there's so many movies of this. I personally like the 1994 version because no one, in my opinion, can play Josephine March like Winona Ryder. That new one, trash. I would say this book is best when you read it during the holiday times because it starts off during Christmas time. Um, you have the March sisters, four girls. They're poor during the Civil War times. Their dad is fighting, during the Civil War, and they're against slavery. Um, and you see the four women, you see them as children and you see them as adults, and you just see their lives. You see their professional lives, you see their personal lives, you see their relationships when it comes to their partners. You see all of that. Great coming of age story, such a great sister story, such a great, just such a great story when it comes to sisters, when it comes to motherhood, when it comes to relationships. You learn all about it in Little Women, y'all. So yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to classic literature. Again, these are I would start off with. If I could start over again reading classic literature, these are the ones that I would pick. Because again, they are not boring. They got that drama and tea. They keep you on your toes. They are conversational pieces. You are going to be talking out loud. You're going to be sad. You're going to be happy. You're going to be angry. All the emotions when you read these books. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. I'll be back with more Black books.